Welcome to the lab. This is Engineering ADHD, a channel overview. Well, sometimes what you see is what you get. I have ADHD and I'm working in an engineering field. This channel is kind of a spin-off of a series I did on my main channel, Mikey's Lab, where we take a look at the impact of ADHD on a professional life of an engineer, of a life of an adult male in general. We're going to talk a lot about the challenges that come with having ADHD, both in an engineering field and just being a person. We're going to talk about some of the strategies that I've come up with. We're going to try to bring some information to you, both for people with ADHD and people who love people with ADHD or people who work with people with ADHD. Try and make the relationship between the neuroatypical and the neurotypical a little easier and a little less stressful for both sides. ADHD or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a neuroatypical condition where your brain doesn't work the way that everybody else's does. In some cases, it is described as a physiological condition with a difference in speed between the peripheral and central nervous systems. This is often what brings about the use of stimulants and the treatment for it. Medication is a whole other debate. We'll touch on that in another video. The primary difference between a neurotypical person and a neuroatypical person is the way that executive functions and base functions in your brain work. So neuroatypical would be anybody on like the autism spectrum, anybody with ADHD. Disorders, even including depression and anxiety, can be considered neuroatypical as well because your brain isn't reacting the same way to dopamine and serotonin the way that a typical, whatever that's supposed to mean in this world, a typical brain would. Now, for the most part, my personal view, and I'm not the only one out there who sees it this way, is that ADHD is not a disorder. It's not a disability. It is just a difference in cognition. Our brain functions in a very different way than an average person's does, and it produces some symptoms and some conditions that can make life a lot more challenging, especially for the things that don't interest us. It can make interpersonal relationship skills very complicated. And it's very easy for dealing with somebody with ADHD to frustrate somebody who doesn't have it and doesn't understand. One of the goals of this particular channel is going to be to bridge that. Both educate the ADHD person as to why they're reacting a certain way, so maybe they can use cognitive behavioral therapy or their own awareness, self-awareness of the condition to modify that behavior in that moment. And to bring knowledge to people who do not have ADHD about why somebody with ADHD is reacting a certain way. And maybe that level of knowledge can help make things less stressful, make the communication between people less stressful. So if this sounds like something you're interested in hearing about, if this sounds like something that would be beneficial to you, by all means, hit that subscribe button down below, smash the like button, let me know that you like this stuff, and join me on this journey. I'm going to be trying to put out episodes every Saturday to bring my experiences and things that have affected me over the week, again, working in an engineering field, both personally and professionally, with how ADHD's interacted with me, how it has changed my perspective, times where I dealt with it well, times where I dealt with it poorly, and how I plan to attack that better in the future. So again, thank you for joining me in the lab. We'll speak again soon.